So we're going to see Marcelo. Marcelo is a guy I worked with in 2004 when I lived here. I was very young. He was always sitting in the corner of the office, and always when I had a problem with like code, I knew nothing about code. I just copy and paste it, same as now. He helped me, and always when I get into his office, he was like, "Oh my God, it's you again! Get alive!" So are you super excited to meet Marcelo?
I'm excited to like jump in his pool.
It's Startup Diaries. We're Fab and Dom. We escaped our office, packed up our business, and hopped into a Land Rover with our friend Vin. Our mission: travel through South America and meet people who use technology to redefine work.
Hola. Estamos buscando a alguien que se llama Marcelo Iturbe.
Don Marcelo Iturbe, ya, ¿cómo no?
I haven't seen Marcelo for 11 years. Wow. Hola.
Hola.
Estamos buscando a Marcelo. Ah, ya.
Marci, te buscan.
Hey man.
Hey man, how you doing?
Good to see you again.
Good, long time no see.
10 years.
Really?
Exactly now 10 years ago.
No.
Yeah.
No, I bought this house 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't touched it up. I have to, there's, details and stuff, but it's got beer.
And a bottle opener for the cover.
It's new. Before, like 5 years ago, I had to,
Yeah.
use the outside, use a knife or something.
I have a friend who does it with the teeth.
Yeah, so this is it, Barbie pool. And it's kind of crazy, at some point you start feeling like an adult.
Thanks for the invite to your pool.
Hey man, it's the least I could do, I know that the scorching hot summer in Santiago. And they offered me a job, like huge job. It's like, oh my God. ¿Tiene frío, hija? ¿Salgamos? But that meant, suit and tie. And I was like, oh my God, do I want that? Because I was going to my work in a Digit with rollerblades. It's like, do I want a suit and tie? It's like, what do I do, But at the same time, Digit was growing, and they're saying, hey, you have to move to Ottawa, and we're going to be a more serious company, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, God. So what's my escape plan? My escape plan was to go to Chile for 3 months. It's like, okay, I'm putting everything on hold. I'm going to Chile, meet my family. I want to know my grandparents, my cousins. One of the partners from Digit said, okay, go to Chile and make us a business plan because Chile's coming up with a free trade agreement in Canada. It's like a business plan. Okay. So I call my brother up. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, I'm working at Whistler. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to Chile, maybe start up a company. You want to come with me? It's like, yeah, okay, but you have to wait till the snow melts. All right.
No mountains?
The snow melts. Because it's working at the ski resort, right? So I have to wait till the end of the season. Yeah, no problem. So I went in January, came in January,
How old were you there?
24.
And Pablo?
26.
Okay.
I went to pick him up at the airport, and he had like a 10-kilogram notebook under one arm. 1997, right? And a book in the other arm that said Business Plans for Dummies. Like, yeah, we're gonna do really well. So needless to say, the people in Canada laughed at us. So we broke relations with Digit because of, they laughed at us. And then we had to figure out, what do we do? We had maybe $7,000 to our name, in the closet when they said the sleeping bag. His first client that we sold, that we closed, was a Sheraton. He came back, red, sweating, but happy. Dude, I closed the Sheraton. Awesome. However, and this was the warning of how the whole company would be from here on forward. However, I also sold them consultoria, consultant work on how to on getting a dedicated line because they had no internet back then. Yeah, they also want a firewall. Firewall. Okay. Yeah, and I also sold them a mail server. I'm like, what? Dude, I only know how to make websites. Whatever, dude, you're the geek here, you figure it out. I was very gringo-ish, right? So I would go to the meetings, everything with shorts, sandals, whatever. They asked Pablo, hey, can you, please ask him to at least wear, sneakers. ask him not to wear sandals because it's a security issue, or a health risk, if something falls on his toes. All right. So from that point, I wore jeans and sneakers.
Can I have a cigarette?
But all the meetings, I would always schedule them at 1. Because if you schedule your meetings at 1 at the Sheraton, they invite you to lunch. So I said there, eat rice with ketchup at home, and I don't like ketchup. Or go to the Sheraton and see what leftovers they have from in the casino from the restaurants the day before.
So at that point, were you already in contact with Tim?
Yeah. Tim was the most sociable person I've ever met. He knows anybody. Every time I go to clients, even now, he goes, so you're with Tim? Yeah, I know Tim. Then you had Alberto, which was, to this day, he's one of the best designers I've ever seen. He's designer, Flash programmer. He's the guy who's, Da Vinci of modern time. We had no money for partying, right? Like no cash. But in Barrio Suecia, which is a neighborhood where all the gringos used to hang out, there used to be a mining club, right? So every Friday night at the Boomerang, anyone who was related to the mining industry had free beer. So we printed these cards, and all 3 of us belonged to this company. So we go to Boomerang, give them our card. They would write us down in their piece of paper, because back then they didn't even use Excel. And in we went, free beer for them. What I think is one of the best attitudes is just to have faith in chaos. Things will work themselves out. And 8 times out of 10, they do. The other 2 times, you have to rough it out. But if you believe if you have faith in chaos, eventually things work out. I mean, it's like kids in a playground. You can't
micromanage.
Yeah, you can't say, don't go up there. No, don't do that. You might get hurt. Just let them run free and deal with the consequences afterwards. In the most run, things will work out fine.
So I remember that Tim told me there was a time when Alberto, you and Pablo all lived in one place. Is that correct?
Yeah, of course. Second floor is the bedrooms. The first floor was the office / playroom / eating quarters. And we had my first challenge there was to get a coaxial network going so we could play Doom.
With BNC Terminator resistors.
Yeah, right.
I did this with bell wire.
Right.
And there was a time, I think Tim said you were living in this apartment, and then a couple of months later you had a company with 100 employees.
Yeah, that was MSM. And it was just one huge party. I mean, we had hot reporters, hot graphic designers, we had hot everything, and party at our place every weekend type thing, I believe that I made the right choice in becoming, I don't know if become an entrepreneur, but at least, following my brother and Tim into entrepreneurship, into, working 24/7 for the first time, from 24 to 34 type thing. Because if you're that energetic and that dedicated, just dedicate it to yourself. I'm not a developer. I'm a hacker. I do proof of concept.
Same here.
Yeah, exactly. So
copy and paste and Stack Overflow.
right, exactly. So,
and I wouldn't be where I am if I wouldn't have come to Chile. Because Chile for me was like, okay, there's no fixed rules. You just have to improvise it somehow together.
Think outside the box.
And I owe this to Tim, to you, to working at Humano too.
Right.
This attitude. It's not about the skills. It was this mindset that everything is possible.
Right.
And that you can wing it somehow.
Yeah. You have to have faith in chaos.
Then in Zendesk, I came in the first day. I had no idea what Zendesk is still. I went to a sales meeting. First time in my life I wore a suit. From sleeping on the street in Africa, cutting my beard and hair, with James. And James is like the salesman, 5 children. He was like, "What did you do before Zendesk?" I was like, "Yeah, I drove a car through Africa." And he said, "That sounds very uncomfortable." Why did you do that?
Uncomfortable.
So,
dude,
we have to buy some what?
Bread. Yeah, we have to have once, and my wife is down south for a seminar, so I'm with my in-law, and I have to go. I normally make bread. But last night I worked late and I forgot to make it, so... Hey, you have to pay your debt, eh?
What debt?
Your debt to the debt you owe me from your trip to Africa. I donated $20, so you have to sing me a song.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I have a guitar which hasn't been played in 2 years, so you have to tune it.
Oh my
but you owe
god.
me a song.
Oh, I remember you requested like a Rage Against the Machine song or something, right?
Right. Even the base salary is so crap, and it's so horrible to be an employee because they overwork you and then they pay you, that your only chance in order to succeed in Chile, for example, is to become an entrepreneur. You know, either be a lawyer or be an entrepreneur. I don't like lawyers.
And if I'm Chilean and I have an idea, what are my options? How can I come up with my idea here?
One of the options is to work at night. So you start off working at night. Get a few friends, buy them a couple of beers, say, hey, you know, I have this idea, how do we execute it, right? And then you start executing at nighttime, you know, and try and sell at your lunch break, right? Land a few clients, and eventually you have to get to the point where you have to quit. I guess I should have brought keys. Isabela! Gracias, Nana. I'm right back.
All right.
Anyways, so you're gonna play for me?
Cheesy song.
I know it. I know. Ramones, I want to be sedated.
Oh, nah, can't do it. I don't know the song.
Oh, come on. I want to be sedated. Guaranteed?
Guarantee. Oh, what a coincidence.
Now I understand so many of your videos, man.
On bending knees, there's no way to be free. My favorite part with the rules.
Yeah.
Leave it to me as I find a way to be. Consider me a satellite forever orbiting. I know all the rules, but the rules do not know me. Guaranteed. So, if this is the camera, there's 500 million Latinos watching you. Some of them want to be entrepreneurs, but they don't have the balls yet. They're afraid of making the first step. Oh, fuck. What would you tell them?
You know, what do you tell someone that's afraid?
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid, yeah.
Don't be afraid.
I mean, there's always, what's the worst that can happen? You know, the worst that can happen, you know, think about that. I mean, what, you get criticized by your parents? I mean, I'm assuming, okay, if you're less than 30, you know, most likely you still live with your parents, you know, or you're living in most likely living with your parents. This is Latin America, after all. Yeah. I mean, what's the worst case scenario? You have to live with your parents for the 10 years. You know, you end up with a debt. You know, I mean, it doesn't kill you. You know, that's the thing. I mean, it's not skydiving. It's not you don't want to get on a motorcycle racing or whatever. You know, I mean, worst case scenario, you have to get a job. I mean, and you already have one. So worst case scenario is you end up where you are right now with just a bit of debt. You know, I mean, it's the thrill of the first close of the first project. You know, it's that those compliments that you get from the clients, that tutoring that you can do to your own employees. You know, and making the workplace yours. You know, it's incredible. You know, it's much more than just having your own company. You know, it's having your own world. You know, it's like fuck you to all the other people, to all the other bosses. It's fuck you to how other people run their own companies. This is my company. You know, if I want people to work 9 to 4, 9 to 3, if I want to, you know, whatever, I do it. If the company is profitable, you know, and I want to buy everybody a Lamborghini, then I do it. You know, it's your freedom to do what you want with your company, with your employees. And what everyone has to eventually figure out is that the most important thing in a company is not the clients. Okay, at the beginning, yes, the first 2 years, the most important thing is your clients. But once your balls start rolling and you start building and money's coming in and it's going, the most important thing are your employees. If you want to grow, the most important thing in the company, the most important assets are your employees. If you have important people and you can't pay market salary, then you have to give them other benefits. Give them an extra week of vacation. Give them, have kick-ass parties. Give them Fridays off. Figure it out. Don't think about independence. Think on the long term. Think, what it's going to be. If it's successful, how are you going to deal with it? How are you going to help those around you? How are you going to contribute back to society? Because working in most big companies in Chile sucks. They're very strict. They're very, and then it sucks. Why would you ever want to work for anybody? So the best way for a small company, a startup company, to be successful, if you can attract people with startup minds, which accept the startup world and are very open to receiving this kick-ass environment to work in.
Thanks for the interview, dude.
No problem, dude. Thanks for it's great seeing you, and I'm a great fan, and I'll be following you more than you follow me. But anyways,
if I wouldn't have worked at Humano Dos, all this wouldn't happen.
I'm glad that I'm part of this then.
Cool.